In this video, we are going to talk about web accessibility. So what is web accessibility, right? To understand this, we have to understand, right, why actually we need this web accessibility term and what exactly it means to be in our real life, right? Okay, so it basically relates to the people to whom we live with, right? You may know the person who are deaf. You may know the person who are not able to see clearly, right? You may know the person who are not able to speak. Yeah. You may know the people who are not able to move their body. You may know the people who are disabled by their legs, by their hands. You may also know the people who are get paralyzed, right? So all of these people have some sort of disabilities, right? So to counter these disabilities, right, does we have anything, can do anything to make the web accessible to even those person who are not able to access the internet by in the same way as a normal person can, right? So that is where the term web accessibility comes into picture, right? So web accessibility simple means the way or the number of tools that we can use to make the web application, the web itself, more accessible to everyone who wants to interact with it. Okay, let's, for example, here you have a person who is blind, right? So if he wants to read a book, okay, what other options do you think he have? He may have to search some person who can read a book, right? And they have to request them, okay, please can you please read this book or read this letter for me, right? Maybe this could be an option, or there could be an different option like a screen reader, right? A text reader, where basically it just have to give them instruction, please read this text, and the software will make that for you, right? That software will make or read that for you. So basically that screen reader software is a kind of tool which makes it accessible the web content to a user, even though if he is not able to access their mouse, access the keyboard, because he may be disabled by his hands, or he may be not able to see, right? So what we can do, as you may hear about that is most common example, right? That is the Alexa, that Google, and these devices and such devices which you can simply interact with those devices just by your voice, right? So you don't have to give them instruction or touch some things, touch some screen and do some kind of action, right? So you can access those things directly by your voice, right? So that is an example of web app, a kind of accessibility, right? So that is also being available right now these days in your phone, like the Google Assistants or Alexa, right into your phone, by just giving the instruction just by your speech. They may have that ability to make a call or schedule an interview, or maybe set an alarm, or maybe play some music, maybe read a book. Okay, so there are a lot of things, right? And with that advancement in that AI, artificial technology, right? So now it became even much possible for developing such tools which can be directly operated, even though a person who is not able to move his head or hands. Maybe a time is going to come, right, where when these tools, where a mind reading tool can be there, who can just by capturing the signal of your brain, can do everything that you wants to, right? So this is what we call web accessibility, right? So when we talk about web accessibility, it doesn't just mean that disability. When we talk about disability, it can be related to that permanent disability, right? It could be a temporary disability. So the example of this, right, what could be its example? For example, maybe you are eating some food, okay, and both of your hands are dirty, or maybe you are involved in planting, right, and you have and you got an emergency call, or maybe a call from your friend or from your wife or maybe someone else, right, and you are not in a situation to pick up the call, right? So is there any way, is there any method that by using that you can access the phone, right? Is this possible? Okay, so that is what we call accessibility. Even though sometimes you may be hear about that by accidental you have dropped your phone in water, okay, or maybe your phone get theft by some person, right? So even though in that cases there you have that feature to track your phone, or to understand, to know where is your phone by tracking its location. So all these things are that a kind of accessibility. Okay, so what basically this accessibility simply means, it is then ability to give a disabled person, or even a person who is not able to do something because of the certain limitations through which he is suffering from. Okay, even though if he wants something to make or something to do, he doesn't require to depend on someone else, right? So we have to make sure that whatever the content we produce on the web, right, if we just talk about the web accessibility, it simply means whatever the content or whatever the kind of application we are trying to deploy on the web, we must ensure that it could be available to even those who are not directly able to use that keyboard or maybe mouse, or maybe not as same as that of a normal person can, right? So I think now you have a general understanding of what basically a web accessibility means, and why it is required. Maybe the kind of disability may lies into these categories. Maybe it related to the vision, right? Maybe it's color blindness, maybe it's low vision, maybe it's a complete blindness. Okay, maybe it's related to your ear. Okay, you can't able to hear the noise or hear the sound. Okay, in that case you must have to understand how a deaf person can able to access the audio or the picture. If he is looking at a picture, if a movie, how he can understand that. Okay, maybe it related to the motor movement, right? For example, the movement of your hands, maybe your legs, maybe your body, right? So how could that limitation can be passed through? Okay, and maybe it could be cognitive, right? So cognitive means a kind of disability which is related to your brain. Maybe you are not capable of understanding as quick as the others, right? Maybe you're not able to focus for a large amount of time, or for a certain period of time. Maybe you are not able to understand the language, right? Or maybe you are a kind of person who is not able to grasp thing easily, right? So such kind of situation, or such kind of person, such kind of disabilities are also there. Okay, and there are such many different kind of disability and disabilities that we have to understand or consider while creating our web content, web application, or anything whatever we want to produce on the web, right? So I think now you have a better understanding of what basically this web accessibility means. And in the further videos we will going to talk about what are the different solutions that we can implement in your web application, if it could be possible for you to make your web application more accessible to everyone, right? I think this is enough for this video. I will meet you in the next video soon. Till then, have a nice day and goodbye.